Afternoon, everybody. Welcome to CW Live. My name's Chris Webb, Head of Communications at the CWU. Delighted to be joined this afternoon by Deputy General Secretary Postal Terry Pullinger. Afternoon, Terry.
What's your Chris? You all right?
Yeah, I'm really good, buddy. Really good. How can you not be good on days like this? Over 160,000 of our members right across the Royal Mail Group, obviously representing all of them, but the BT Group and Open Reach as well. We're going to speak to Andy Kerr a little bit later on about that side of the house, if you like. But I know, Terry, you've been out and about today right across Northern Ireland. So I obviously want to give you the chance to sort of talk a little bit about that, and then also about how fantastic and vibrant and big our picket lines and supporters and observers have been today right across the UK. It's been another phenomenal show from the CW. But really, Terry, to give you the chance to open up, set the scene, and let us know how you're seeing it out there.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic trip, to be honest, over in Northern Ireland. We came to Belfast. So we started early this morning. So it's been quite a long day, but we started early this morning down in the Bangor delivery office, and then we worked our way back to Belfast. We've gone to a number of different picket lines, including the mail centre, parcel falls, in deliveries. We've also attended BT picket lines. So as we was driving past, we'd stop, and one of them we drove past and stopped, and Andy Kerr was on there. So we got a nice photo shoot at a pair of us there. And all the members were just so upbeat from all our different different parts of the CWU family. So I mean, a historical day, because obviously all of our members were out on strike. So what we're talking, circa 150,000 or more CW members out on strike today. Phenomenal. But the mood on the picket lines is absolutely resolute. Been totally honest with people that this ain't an easy dispute by any stretch of the imagination. Not necessarily going to be over quicker. We've got a proper dig in here, and we've got to stick together, do the right thing. Yes, there's going to be hardship, but it's not going to kill us. And it's an hardship we've got to endure until we get a victory. And all the members we've met on the picket lines have just been so supportive of the union and so supportive of that position. And I think it's not just what's happening to us now, Chris. I think it builds on everything that people had to go through during the pandemic, and us deploying our agreement and revision activity. And, life was really tough in the workplace. So I think people, genuinely know that they deserve appreciation and reward for that. But I think this is just sort of the straw that broke the camel's back. And I think that's why we've got these massive yes votes. And there's just been no weakening on any message or questions I've had on the picket lines. People are solid here, and they're prepared to dig in for the long haul.
Thanks, Terry. And I mean, I think that what you've just finished on then links nicely into what I want to touch on, really, is what you've seen in the flesh, so to speak, today seems to be what is happening right across the UK. I mean, if I go back, say, 20, 25 years, and we've had disputes, you would go, well, union's got some strong areas, got some maybe not so strong areas. It seems to me, from what we're seeing here, that every single corner of the UK is right behind the CW, to the extent of almost being able to literally say to a person. I mean, is that what you're picking up from the networks?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm keeping a check on all the stuff, the comms department, yourself and that are putting out. I mean, the picket lines are so strong. It was the same last Friday. It was up in Blackpool, started up in Blackpool last Friday, and then was right across the sort of Preston area and places. All the picket lines, all very well attended, and that same sense of determination. I mean, the company has just got this so wrong. They've totally lost the dressing room. They've totally lost their workforce, and everyone's saying that they don't trust them anymore, and they have no confidence in them. So they've unleashed hell here, really, for them and for us taking our industry forward in what they've done, and they cannot be allowed to win, and the people are determined. So the numbers we're seeing, 37 years I've been in the game. I don't think I've seen. We've all been involved in local and national disputes. I don't think I've seen it as upbeat as this, as supportive. We've certainly not seen those yes votes before, have we? And I think as you go around, you're learning why we got those massive yes votes, not just from, what you class, as you say, as our traditional strong areas, but in all parts of the UK. And that's why it's great the union's out all over the place, executive members, officers, etc., all over the United Kingdom, and we've got to keep doing that. all the time these disputes are going on. So you can't be everywhere, which is a shame. But the appreciation, like coming to Northern Ireland, I mean, these are places, if Royal Mail had their way and they diluted the USO or got rid of it, it's places like Northern Ireland that would really suffer, especially, you know, being geographically sort of isolated in that sense, as well as the other parts of the country that we talk about, you know, that the USO serves so well, not just big cities, but obviously, you know, Cornwall and Devon and Wales and, you know, all the outskirts that people wouldn't bother with because there's no commercial value in it, or you'd get a totally diluted service. So the people over here understand it. We had a rally this afternoon, which was brilliantly attended, and it was actually out in the street. So there was the police there trying to guide traffic through. We was on both sides of the road, and the amount of public that you could see who stopped and were listening and applauding CW members. So massively uplifting, and I'm sure what people are experiencing right across the UK is uplifting as well.
I want to touch on what you said there, Terry, about the rally. Obviously, for the people who are unaware, over in Belfast, it was, I think, certainly a first in our union's history where both of our major employers are taking action on the same day. Yourself and our Deputy General Secretary, Telecoms and Financial Services, Andy Kerr, who we'll speak to a little bit later on, both addressed the rally. I mean, how did that feel from a trade union perspective to, you know, have the two groups of workers together? Do you think that lifts each other? We're seeing, I mean, I know that we've seen other meetings take place. I saw one down in Pompey Way. I've seen a few others where people have got together and shown each other solidarity. Do you think that, you know, that can only be a positive thing?
Yeah, I mean, they had other speakers as well, Chris, you know, from other unions and community groups, etc., speaking as well. So it's just powerful and it is inspiring, and then not just for us, but to have BT members and Royal Mail Group members together as well. Yeah, they loved it. You know, you could tell the people makes people that feel that they're not out on their own, which of course they're not. And when you tell people, you know, you go to the smallest office, the smallest picket line, and tell them you're not alone. There's, you know, circa 160 or whatever it is, 1,000 CW members out on strike today. You know, they are not alone. This is part of a massive thing. Biggest ballots in the UK, biggest strike in the UK of workers. And of course, we're seeing it with all the other workers, whether it's R&T or whether it's health services going to be next. You've got barristers saying they're going indefinite industrial action. I mean, that sort of sense of awareness across the public as well, which is really important, I think is making you feel like it is inspiring, and it makes you feel there is definitely going to be a change. We cannot keep having a society where, you know, literally people are getting poorer by the day. You know, people can't pay their bills. Crime's going to get worse out of desperation. You know, everyone's being left behind. All our utilities have been sold off, and it's just billionaire shareholders that are raking it in. You know, and I think that message is landing loud and clear, and it falls on our members to fight to protect themselves and fight for this great public service, and also for our BT members to, you know, fight for justice in BT in terms of, you know, the money that company's made, the money that's been given to shareholders and executives, same old story, and nothing for the employees. Workers definitely are saying they've had enough, aren't they? And yes, I believe it is inspiring, not just people in our union, but right across workers in general.
Thanks, Terry. I wanted to I'm sure in the coming days we'll hear a lot more from you on this, but quite a few members are asking in terms of, like, you know, what are the next steps? Obviously, the next steps in formality are that we've got 2 more days industrial action next Thursday and Friday that have been called by the postal executive, which obviously our members will support. But people are asking, you know, are we going to have talks? Is that in the pipeline? You know, is the union still offering negotiations? And if you've got any news on that, or is that something that will be coming across from you in the next couple of days?
Well, no, we could probably have talks. We could probably have talks now, but they wouldn't be worth anything. We've had talks for months, and it's been made clear to us that the bold remit for the negotiators is no movement on anything. So we can sit in a room as long as people want us to sit in a room, if we can bear it, and listen to these people, and then refusing to negotiate in a way that you would expect, in a serious and genuine, meaningful way. Get back in line with our agreement. There was nothing wrong with our agreement in January, but this is all, in our opinion, it's all P&O inspired, isn't it? P&O admitted they broke the law in sacking people and bringing them back on lesser contracts. They said they would do it again. They've not been prosecuted. And I think that lit the touch paper for every other company, especially ones that got a unionised workforce. And Royal Mail created that vacuum by disengaging between January and April. When we did get in the talks, it was this take it or leave it stance, which hasn't changed. So as everybody knows, what we've done is we suspended those talks because we needed a new dynamic. And that dynamic was to bring the chairman in and Dave Walding in line with our agreement, that were part of our agreement. And there's significant reasons now why that meeting needs to take place, because everyone's seeing this news about, a big shareholder move, take over the company, and the government has now instigated an investigation under the new law, which is the Finance and also like almost like Terrorism Act or whatever, of people that are taking over, what is essentially not just a British company, but a British institution. So that's why everything changed. So we need that meeting. We need to know what's going on in this company, whether they are in secret talks to sell off this company, whether that's why they've taken this hard line, which was totally out of character from where we were in January. So they're disengaged, come back in April, and they're completely different people. So that's the meeting we want, that high-level meeting. This ain't being led just by the CEO. Well, you're naive to believe that. The board is heavily involved in this. They're the ones who are saying the remit can't change. Simon Thompson says he didn't enter talks with us on pay between January and April because he couldn't get a remit with the board. So to suggest the board ain't involved in this and the chairman ain't involved in this, Keith Williams, and I'll be honest with you, I think we've got to start calling him out more. He's got to be called out. We need to get him in a room to tell us what's going on with his business. It ain't just about presentations on their finances. We want to know what's going on and if they are in talks, etc., because it's only then that we can ever make some sense of this, because it doesn't make sense that they suddenly turned into different people, and that we can try and get a framework for some really meaningful negotiations. But the other thing is, while we was in the talks, Chris, which were going nowhere for weeks and weeks and weeks in there, the company also then started taking executive action on our people. So, and I think our members totally understand. Why would we sit in a room when there's not a prospect, not a chance in hell of them shifting their position? And while we're in a room with them, they've got all their other senior managers outside giving it to our members. It's not on. So something's got to change. And if that means there's no talks and we continue striking, then that's what we'll have to do.
Thanks, Terry. Fantastic. But I'm just going to give you the chance really to get across. I know it's been a long day and you've got more to do and you're going to continue to be out and about for the rest of the day, but just give you a chance to give a final message over to our members.
Well, my message is, I'll tell you now, I think they're already, panicking. They're already regretting. Everywhere I've been, I'm not seeing any work going out whatsoever. So their plans and the threat of all these agencies and everything else, there may be a bit of that, but it won't even scratch the surface. It really won't. The work's just not being moved about. So they will gradually, the pressure will start to build on them, especially as we move into Christmas pressure, as everybody knows. That's the time when the company would normally make even more money. So, they'll have to move at some point, but they're going to have to. They're going to have to move because otherwise we will just continue. We will just continue fighting until they do shift their position. So I think we're massively already having an effect. I think the public support is growing. This wasn't a battle that we chose, and our members certainly didn't choose and didn't deserve. It's been totally down to the employer. And in doing it, they decided not just to take us on, but they have destroyed all the trust that had been built under all the culture work we tried to do. As I say, they've destroyed people's confidence in them, belief in them, and really and truthfully, they should go. To lose a workforce, in Royal Mail Group, put it that way, of nearly circa 115,000 decent working people, takes some doing. And if you look at our votes, they are massive votes of no confidence in the employer. So I think we're growing and they will start to shrink, and we just got to keep going. It was a fight we've got to have. Everyone understands that I've been speaking to today and the last Friday. Everyone understands that. No one wants it, but if we have to have it, we're the people to have it. they don't realise what they've taken on, in my opinion. And in doing what we're doing, we will raise the profile and inspire working people everywhere, but also raise the profile of the fact, do you know what? Royal Mail should be renationalised, because all they're going to do is destroy the USO rather than build upon it and grow the business and generate other revenues, everything our agreement was meant to do, and which is the right approach to protect this great public service. They've ditched all of that. They've torn all that up in a dash for cash, and we're going to stop them.
Thank you, Terry. So first of all, to say thanks to you. I know it's been a long day and a busy day. I know you've got loads more to do, mate. But even more importantly than Terry, as we always say, thanks to everyone who's tuned in and all those of you who've screwed on a picket line. Also, if you're still on a picket line or you're going to be doing it this afternoon, you're going to be doing it this evening, we haven't forgot. Keep sending us the pictures. We'll get as many of them out as we can. I would give a shout out. If you've sent one in, please don't keep sending it in again, because it does clog it up and make it hard for our team to get them out. But it's been a stunning day for the union. So, like, we're really, really proud of you all. Keep going, everyone.
Chris, sorry, mate. Thank you, everyone. But can I also put on record, I want to thank you and the comms department for all the stuff you're pumping out as well, because when we're talking about the awareness, that's a massive part of it as well, of course, in the world we live in. So thanks for all that as well, and all your team for the work they've done.
Thank you, mate. I really do appreciate that. So that's it from Terry and I. I'll pop on again shortly with Andy Kerr to give you the lowdown on how the BT and Open Reach one's going. Keep going, everyone. We're going to win this dispute.